of House of the Dragon episode plot weeks. Episode 1, Cold Open. Great Council of the Howling Hall Seed of Older Rhaenyra's voice over explain what happens. Title cards. Begin episode proper 9 years of the reigns of Varys 1. Young Rhaenyra and Syrax win over King's Landing, returning from a pleasure ride. She runs at Dragaport with Harold Waldwin and are waiting. He joins the land at a real house to be taken back to the keep. Rhaenyra visits pregnant Aemma before attending a concert before his father's campfire. They merely discuss Daemon and the tournament to celebrate the king's pregnancy. Cut to the Red Keep Garden where Alicent and Rhaenyra study together. Rhaenyra whips out pays of the 10,000 sips and sends it to Rhaenyra in the generous terms in the finale. Visitors visit Aemma, who's in the bath, and they discuss the unborn child, tells her of his dream, who sat on the Iron Throne of the Aegon the Conqueror. A cut to Daemon getting ready in some barracks, and he in the city watching criminal hotspots around Free Bottom. Cut to morning, Varys is touring of Daemon's pillaging and a small council. Aliclear inspired him. Daemon turns up and it's all very tense. But Daemon sits on the phone and Rhaenyra approaches. They talk in high and he gives her a civilian steel pendant. Masters attends to a nasty con of Valesius. They reach it. Daemon is in Pleasure House of Mercia where he can't finish. People watch them and they include Talia, a woman mysterious versatile spy network who plays a role throughout the season. Tony begins. We see Valesius welcoming everybody with a few shots of Sterling who's there. It's stating that Emma is in labor. Daemon is announced as the first Douse, and he chooses Gwen Highroll as his opponent, and he wins. Episode 1 continued. He asks Alicent for his favor. Next to him is Criston Cole. Cole asks Rhaenyra for his favor too, and he knocks him out beyond his horse, and Daemon continues the fight on the ground. Cole manages to get his dark sister off of him and Morn's down, and he wins. Daemon storms off, and he goes to a royal box to visit the Amber's both complications back to Versus. He reads the seer, sees an agony excuse that could be a happy ending. Back to Terry, we see Corby, Tori, Dockery, and Dockerin Knights fight. Dockerin has his head carved in, and Tori is now in agony with the broken bones. As this happened, Rhaenyra and Alicent turn away from the horror and see a fuss in the royal box. Rhaenyra sees her mother has died in the childbirth, and he cuts the verses on Emma now, empty in the birth bed. And the masters inform her that Baron has died also. Rhaenyra sees and runs away. Cut to a funeral on the hill of Venus and Rhaenyra is furious at Varys' insistence on having a male cast her Aemma's wife. Daemon gently encourages her to light the pyre. Back in the Red Keep, Rhaenyra breaks down Alicent's arms. The small council convinces of secession. Otto warns Rhaenyra the colleagues to test Rhaenyra, who stand by Daemon but like Ward strong. Versus fiercely screams that my wife and son are dead. I will not offer the clothes and the feast upon the corpses and storms out. Otto speaks to Alicent and visits the Varys later and gives them cover. He tells her where the mother's dress. This is why I hate reading. And there was also episode 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. This is how much they put on here. Okay. And yeah, that's basically the ending here. Episode 2, Criston Cole attends the King's Guard. There's present for Varys to marry and to get pregnant. But Daemon attempts to steal the Acorn Dragonstone, and Otto Hightower, King's Guard, confronts him in the bridge scene you see in the trailer. Rhaenyra and Syrax helps to stop Daemon. Mesa Harriet mercenaries Daemon visits Corey to blow off stream. Before two Varys is announced, Rhaenyra is shocked and calls to find out he's having private audiences with him. They remain friends, but they're cracking relationships now. Rhaenyra is upset of not being picked to be married Versus, and Vega notices his sadness, and Rhaenyra claims her. 3 years have passed. Daemon's fan of Syraxis and the Stepstones, and Lord John Master is vying for Rhaenyra's hand. A royal hires to celebrate Target Aegon's name day. Versus confesses to Alicent that he has double doubts about the succession. Alicent and Rhaenyra are still trying to be friends, but the defensive and Haray's insult Rhaenyra and stuck up to her. Rhaenyra storms off on a horseback. Criston saves her from a wild boar, and Rhaenyra savagely kills the animal and stuff. And basically, they go to the Stepstones, and there was a huge battle involving all the main guys in the show. Episode 4, a fight breaks out against all the bad guys. One of them is killed. Daemon returns as king, basically, and those people take up the missed friends up as well, taking care of the babies as well. Daemon visits Rhaena, and they basically have no stuff in the brothel, and they begin themselves. They leave, and Rhaena basically says, "Oh, but you have to sleep with me." And the spy is working for Mysaria, who's watching everything to tell the king. Despite Rhaena's denials as he serves as Daemon, Daemon is exiled as well. And Otto's removed his hand. Lord Ronald Strong is due to hand. Royce dies by accident. Rhaena and Ronald's wedding takes place in Driftmark. They agree and to make it out and dynasty as fit. Rhaena tells to listen and Rhaena was given Moon Tea. She is shocked to admit that they are sleeping with the other people. And she was to say agree. She forced with the other people and so Rafi Romoff is killed by Kristen after Joffrey tells him about the Moon Tea. Kristen confesses his sins and prepares to commit suicide. Allison finds him from Brain and saves his wife. Wedding is quite lost as well. 10-year time skip. Jason Rook aboard this time skip. There is a page war in Old Town. He'll be off screen this season. It is presented as king and queen. Allison softly tells Rhaena to keep trying. Howard is present as Jason Rook chooses an egg for baby. They make a deal with Allison, suggesting a marriage as well, but they say no. And they bully the guy for not having a dragon. They attempt to claim Dreamfire. Johannes feeds the dragon, but is burned. Allison is furious that she can't have a dragon. She visits Aeon and tells him to change his behavior at once, and he'll be king. Daemon and Rhaena happy married with 2 daughters, and they fight together. Rhaena dies in childbirth. Hannah and Kristen fight, causing Howard to be dismissed from the court. Of the fire, Howard kills the Strongs. In the grief, the girls his ashes were murdered and Howard were weary his father or they will tell the truth. And they settle from Dragonstone to move away from the rumors. Runa's funeral is on Driftmark. They raise Kevin FL, but they're all while Runa is still alive. They claim to honor her mother's memory at the funeral. But yeah, this is based on a funeral episode as well. So there's also all the stuff about the funeral as well. And some guy gets his eye cut out. At the Roy Bar, Allison runs for Rita for LF. Person's here, and cut that person's off face as well. And yeah, this is the rest of the plot weeks if you really want to read this. I'm not going to spend 20 minutes reading all these plot weeks of Lord of the Rings, House of Dragons. So yeah, this is episode 8, episode 9, episode 10. Goodbye.